He's going. Oh, he's turning around. The globe is following him. And the globe was in the dark. And at that night, he went into the jungle. And he went to the next village. And the next village didn't know what happened to the other village. They were through the other side of the jungle. And as the globe was over his head, and the light was shining down him, it shined on the path. And Captain Crabby didn't know where the path was. But the globe keeps shining. Every step he took. One, two. Every step he took, Mr. Crabby had the light shining over the top of him. And he didn't know which way to go. But he was in the darkest jungle of the Congo. And that dark jungle had all sorts of animals and screams and monkeys and alligators and snakes and all sorts of things. And he didn't know if he was going to be on the path or not. But that globe was shining over him, and it showed him the way to the next valley, to the next village. Yes, the next village. And he got close to the village, and he was so tired, he just lay down, and the globe was shining on him, and all the animals came. Oh. Captain Crabby was snoring. And the globe was over him, and he was asleep. And the animals would come up. But they wouldn't get so close because the globe was shining on him. And Captain Crabby, he would dream dreams. And he dreamed a dream. And in that dream, there was a witch duck. And it was going to poison him. And he saw the angel of the Lord come over him. He was asleep. And he dreamed this dream of being protected. But he also saw a woman. And her little boy, about 7 years old, was praying in that dream. Oh, God, my mommy has no money for Christmas. And I want so much to have stuffed animals. and stuffed animals are sometimes, they're so wonderful because you can love them and you hold them and they never argue with you. They never correct you. They just are there. And so the little boy was praying, oh God, send my mommy $1,000 and we'll have all the food and be able to take care of the neighborhood and be able to do beautiful things. When I woke up, all these weird thoughts were around my brain as Captain Crabby, and I just said, no, I've got a mission. And the globe started to move. The globe started to move. And so I got up and I followed the globe, and it went a little bit to this way, and it went a little bit to that way. And it went by these palm trees and another palm tree and bushes. And you could barely see that there was a path. And Captain Crabby was looking for the path. And at first I felt so dark to the left and to the right. It's so dark outside. But the globe stayed there. And it went in front of me, step by step. And I went on one step at a time. One step at a time. And did the globe keep going with me, children? Yes, it did. And it would always be right where I needed to go. And sometimes it would go to the left. Sometimes it would go to the right. And I would follow the globe. And the light would shine on the path. I was so happy for that globe. I don't know where it came from, but I knew God was protecting me. And he wanted me to get to this next village. So I got to the next village, and there was the same thing happened. I walked out of the bushes at night. And this globe was shining on me. And I was full of light. They thought I was a white man with shining globe light. And that light was so bright, Everybody in the village came out to look at this man out of the jungle, and he had light behind him, and he had light around him, and he was shining and shining and shining, and all the village came out to look at him. And the little boy comes up, and I go, where's that little boy? I know that boy. He's in a dream. He was in my dream. And I looked at the little boy, and I said, Did you ask God that your mother would get $1,000? And she goes, well, how do you know that? God told me. And all the village goes, ooh, God spoke to him. Our gods don't talk to us. We just keep giving food. We keep giving sacrifices, kill things and burn them up, but he never talks to us. His God talks to him. His God talks to him. And I said to the little boy, you got a shoebox. And in that shoebox, there was nothing. And he looked at me and says, you're right. And I said, if you look inside that shoebox, right on the side of it, on inside, there's a little X. And if you take that X and you peel it back, there is another part. And you tear that back. And when you tear it back, there's an envelope in there. Nobody could see inside that shoebox because there was nothing in it. They thought, I don't know what it is. Why would I get an empty shoebox? But when they got the shoebox open, they said, Mommy, this man had a globe around him. And he stood and he came out of the jungle. And he said, there's a box and we have a shoebox. Mommy, did we get a shoebox? And she says, yes, it was empty. Oh, the man, that captain that had that globe around him was shining. He said to me, your mama has a box. And in that box, there is a little X. And Mommy, let's look in the box. So when he looked in the box, there was an X. And she took the X and peeled it back. And she peeled it farther back. And the side of the shoebox opened up. And there was a letter inside of it. And you know what was in that letter, children? I bet you guessed. There was $1,000. Oh, well, the little boy and his mommy jumped up and down. Oh, ronda basti la boso romondi, roba basti They were so happy. La 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 mo. Randa basti la boso romondo. Ronda boso romondo. And they started to dance and they started to jump up and down until the whole village came to their house. And they told the story, and they says, oh, maybe in our boxes are $1,000. But the little boy says, I prayed and I prayed and I prayed. I said, God, I don't know, God of heaven, God of the universe, you keep all the universes and you keep our lives. You want my mommy to have for Christmas enough money to be able to buy stuffed animals, to buy, alley-oop crabs and alley-oop alligators. And wow. All the villagers came and she held the $1,000 up. And all the people went, oh, that's true. What that man with the globe over his head said it was true. And we have to go back and listen to him. Maybe there's more he has to say. And sure enough, all the things that he was saying caused the hearts of the people to be so loved. And he looked at one little girl. And he said, you know what? There's a box coming at 2:00. And a man came in a truck. It was a beat-up truck. His tires were hardly together, and they were so beat up. And the truck came and had a box. And it had her name on it. And the little girl goes, what? A box for me? Yes, there was a box for her. Her name was Alicia. And on the top of the box was Alicia, name on it. And was taped shut. And at 2:00, she waited and she waited until it was 2:00 and the truck came. And the man in the truck says, here, I have a special box for you. And she said, oh, is it for me? And it said, Alicia. She was so excited. She opened the box up and you know what was inside of it? A beautiful princess dress. Nobody'd ever seen a pink frilly dress. And the little girl, Alicia, put the dress on. It fit her perfect. Nobody else in the village. They all had rags and they had loincloths. They had all sorts of clothes, but they were pretty ragged. It was pretty old and dirty. And this little girl would walk around with this princess dress. And everybody would look at her. She must have prayed hard. She did. She saw one time a little girl at a village far, far away. And she had this pretty dress on. She wanted a dress just like that. So when she saw that little girl, she said, I'm going to get a dress like that. Children, you've got to dream dreams. You've got to believe the things that come up in your heart. When you see something, ask God for it. And when you ask Him, He'll hear your heart. He'll hear your cry. And he will know that you need to know that He's real and that He answers your prayer. He loves to give you